Hi, I'm Jeff Infante. I'm Director of Drug Development at the Sarah Cannon Research Institute and a medical oncologist at Tennessee Oncology. So again, looking back to where things were 5 years ago to now, I think one of the unique settings, especially here at Sarah Cannon and at other places around the country, is pretty much for every stage of where you are with your disease, there's going to be an option of a clinical trial looking at newer and improved therapies. So even for patients that have early stage disease but may have a risk of recurrence, that there'll be a clinical trial option looking at new and improved therapies. For patients that have advanced disease and have never had treatment before, we often will even start with clinical trials looking at the newer therapies as we continue to try to improve and push the envelope. So, I think for no matter where a patient is with melanoma, thinking of what clinical trials are out there is important, as the science has changed so rapidly and the therapies are following quickly behind them. The advances so far in melanoma have mainly been in patients with advanced disease. However, the majority of patients that get melanoma have very small lesions on their skin. And most of the time they're seen by a dermatologist, they're diagnosed, and then they have a full resection and a lymph node evaluation. And so the majority of melanoma is early stage disease. And the most important thing has always been to get a good surgery, and still remains the standard of care. One of the new things that's happening are there are clinical trials focusing on patients that have earlier stage disease but do have a risk of the cancer coming back. For years, the only therapy that was FDA approved is interferon, which has benefit but has associated side effects with it. But now there's multiple trials looking at the newer immune therapies like ipilimumab in the adjuvant setting or post-surgical setting, and now with some of the newer targeted therapies such as the BRAF inhibitors and the MEK inhibitors. So I think those are options that weren't available years ago, and now hopefully if those trials make progress and are as active as they were, if those compounds are as active as they are in the advanced setting of melanoma, hopefully we'll have a dramatic impact for those that have small tumors that are resected but do have a risk of recurrence.